You should be driving a Raptor, a DJ Raptor, a DJ Raptor.
Why, hello there. Welcome to DJ's Raptor. We are in my Raptor. I am DJ, hence the name, DJ's Raptor. I just lost my Thin Mints. My Thin Mints rolling around on the floor. Anyway, I am on my way to work. Normally, people do people things, I guess. So, I figure I should let you in on some of my reactions to these people doing these people things. My Raptor. It is a 2012 white crew cab. It's actually also called a screw, for the S-C-R-E-W, Super Crew. Well, my truck has had its issues, 100%. It has had, since I've owned it, I've put 40,000 miles on it. It has had sorry, there's a ambulance crossing up here. Since I've had the truck, it has had, I put a brand new set of spark plugs in. 16, by the way, for those of you that don't know. I got a misfire code and started flashing at me. Well, that code basically turned out to be my intake valve. The spring broke as it went up and down all those lots and lots of times for 1,000, just for 1,000 RPMs a minute. That's 1,000 times a minute that thing is opening at 1,000. How fast is your RPMs when you're going? Anyway, I was going about 55 miles an hour. That's probably a lie. I was probably doing about 70, but it was in a 65 mile an hour zone when it actually gave me the code. Now, I did already have another code before that. That code told me that my truck's air-fuel ratio was off. That was a cool code. Between those two codes, 2 different trips to the dealership. Code 1, brand new head, brand new cylinder, brand new rod. And I'm thinking all the fixings that went along with it. I'm pretty sure that it was probably a full set, new rings and stuff like that. New bearing on the crank. So anyway, that was one. And then I had to take it back. Had an O2 sensor go bad. Luckily for me, they threw that back on with the warranty. I bought it certified used at Apple of Red Lion. So I got it from them, traded them my other my 2007 F150. God, that thing was a nightmare. Anyway, that's gone. Neither here nor there. So this one, the first fix cost me $100. Well, they had the Raptor. Well, all this time that they're waiting on these parts to come in, I basically what happened was the mechanic had my fuel rail upside down. All my injectors were in it. So the second they all dried out, no more fuel, all of the cardboard material, it was basically a cardboard-esque material. Apparently, lo and behold, it came from the fuel filter. Oh wait, there is no fuel filter on this, my bad, I forgot. It came from a bad oil pump, or bad fuel pump. So I had to, now this fix sucked, because once you bring in fuel, whether it's getting it there, what to do when it is there, it don't matter. It is a consumable part. It is not a warranted item. So to evacuate my fuel system, clean all the junk that is possibly in there, could have been none, but to clean all that junk out, to take and replace my fuel pump, to give me a new fuel rail, new fuel injectors. Now there was nothing wrong with these. That had nothing to do with anything. The issue was back at the fuel pump. So basically what happened, that man got me to buy a brand new fuel rail and fuel injectors, which I'm sure probably wasn't cheap. So all in all, it comes out to being $2,500. That one sucked. So then it starts giving me a code for the transmission. So I'm like, all right, figured out the code, all the stuff's on lead frame. So I figured I'll try the easy fix. Drop the transmission pan, drain the fluid, what fluid was in there, change the transmission filter, put it all back together. Oops, still had that problem. So we did it again to put the lead frame in, which would have been fine and dandy had that been the issue. Oh, by the way, all the oil and stuff and the filter, not really expensive, but at the time I was next to broke. So it hurt. Then I do it again, which every time I'm doing this, it's taking probably about 5 or 6 quarts of transmission fluid to do it. So I did it again for the lead frame. Well, when I closed everything back up, now we got a leak. Now I got to take it back out and put a new transmission gasket on. So I come back to Advance, I buy a new one. I buy the Felpro quart gasket. Nope, it wasn't enough. So I went back to the Ford dealership, and I find out that I still actually have a warranty on my truck. Yeah, I wish I'd have thought about that in the first place. But anyway, so I get the right gasket, get the transmission fluid to fill it back up, and then yeah, kind of bumped that. Anyway, we'll continue this in a little bit. Well, somebody had got my wiring harness for the transmission too close to the exhaust, so it melted my wiring. Alright, so my truck has, after those two things, what else happened? Oh, I went four-wheeling. And we were having a blast. We were having a fun. It wasn't really extreme four-wheeling or anything spectacular or anything like that. We went down to Saginaw. We were driving around down by the river. As I'm pulling out of there, my power steering pump all of a sudden starts going, and yes, I know that was probably not exactly the sound. It was a horrible rendition. I know. But it's close as I come up to. So anyway, so that cost me $1.50. Actually cost me about $200 once I got the 4 quarts of power steering fluid to flush the system. However, apparently flushing the system, like a guy on YouTube was telling me, basically all you had to do is start the truck and put it on, what the yeah, lady, you blew the light. Well, that lady blew the light, so I'm gonna go this way, since apparently she's stuck there. Now you can go, I don't care. So, then, after I get all that fixed, my apartment complex pretty much told me that I needed to give them a picture of my dog, and my dog had to make sure that I had to make sure that my dog had all of his shots. Well, since last year when he went to the vet, my poor dog ain't had a shot one, or even a doctor's appointment one. So we're stopped twice on the way out to take my dog Boots to the dealership. Or sorry, the doctor. I'm passing the dealership, sorry. So we finally get there. We're late. The woman lets us in, gets us in there. She gets us seen a little later. No one found. I told her it was like the last day that the possibility of getting them the paperwork on their last day, the date it was required. So I leave there. I'm driving back. I stop at a dealership. The dealership says, nope, if it's an issue with the other dealership, you have to go to that dealership. So I went back to that dealership. My poor kid was with me because she was sick. So we're trying to do all this. The poor kid is sitting there on a freaking couch in a dang waiting room. She's 10 years old. So, I mean, she's been around for enough to, hang on. It is a Raptor, come on. I drive it like a Raptor. I don't beat the shit out of it. I don't see how many burnouts I can do, but man, the thing handles like a flipping dream. A dream. I don't know, all those years, you know, I've been thinking about, why don't they just make a vehicle wider? I don't know why they don't just make a vehicle wider. I'm sure there's probably some laws or whatever. It doesn't really matter to me. So we finally take the guy for a ride, and he goes, well, this is really bad. You can take me back to the dealership. We got about 50 feet out of the parking lot, and it was really bad. Shifting, not shifting, running in first gear like it was going the speed of fourth gear. Oh, it was just terrible idea. Well, apparently, when I walked in, I was like, dude, you know, what's the situation? He's like, well, it's coming up as an internal error on your transmission. He said the only way for us to find that out, or find out what it is to take it apart. Now see, this is a Friday. He says I can't. He says they'll probably do that today. He says, but it'll probably wind up being after I leave. And if they don't actually get it apart to that point, then they're gonna get it apart to that point tomorrow. And I don't work. So guess what? I found out on Wednesday when I called. It didn't work that day, so I was like, nope, we're calling. I ain't playing that game. So I go in there on Wednesday. Well, I had to go get some more stuff out of the truck that I needed at home and things like that. So I wound up going down there, and he shows me the transmission, and it's on a bench, it's in pieces, and he's like, yeah. I stick my face in there to smell it. Man, we got some burnt old transmission fluid. Woo! It's not supposed to get like that. It's not. So that was all burnt up. And I got a new transmission. So my truck has had, since I'm here at home now, my truck has had a new head. A new head, a new piston, new rod, new bearing, basically that all the way down to the crankshaft and all the way back up to the head. The fuel rail, brand new fuel rail, brand new injectors, so that's 8 more injectors. That was about $400. Plus I don't even know how much a fuel rail was. Plus, I don't even know how much the head was. I could look it up, but it's not worth my time right now. It wasn't something that I wanted. It was something I needed. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So anyway, I got that. I got a new fuel pump, brand new transmission. I almost got a new motor. The thing with that was, if they couldn't find the keeper, I was getting a new motor. They found the keeper. It was in an oil pan. Now, here's the thing though. How did it get down to the oil pan? Did it fall through one of the other ones? Don't know. So, guess what? We got well, I guess it really couldn't have fell through the other one, otherwise it would just been sitting in there on top of the piston going up and down. Yeah, so I have no idea how it got down into the I'm sure there's got to be some pathways. It must be it's slow anyway. That don't matter. I got a lot of new crap on my truck. So my truck is essentially, I don't want to say brand new, but you know, it's as close as it can be without being brand new. Anyhow, I wonder what that gun is. Alright, well, we'll see you next time. Come back, comment, like, subscribe. Do it all. I'm worth it. Some days you'll see people over there. Some days you won't. Some days you'll see people back there. Some days you won't. Never know. Guess we'll find out. You guys take it easy.
You should be driving a Raptor, a DJ Raptor, a DJ Raptor. You should be driving a Raptor, a DJ Raptor, a DJ Raptor.